Welcome back to season 11 of Beyond the Build. We have SSG 34 behind us, a 2021 brand new Jeep Trackhawk. First things first, we gotta get this thing flowing good. So we got brand new headers from American Racing Headers with the full exhaust. So first we're gonna get the stock exhaust out. We're gonna lay it out on the floor alongside the brand new American Racing Headers system, and you'll be able to see a side-by-side comparison of what we're putting back in the car. Let's get to it.
Very tricky. All right. Charlie, how excited are you for this sweepstakes?
I like the Trackhawk idea. I wanted to do one for a while, but now they're just so damn rare, hard to get. And then with Sting Gray, I think there's only like 200 or something in this color. I think it's brand new. We got it with 20 miles, and so just always going up, man. Going up.
All right, so we got the entire giant stock exhaust out. As you see, pretty cumbersome, pretty bulky, but enough about that. For this build, we decided to go with American Racing Headers. Forza builds a ton of Trackhawks, and American Racing Headers is what they recommend for all of those builds. So we had to go with them. American Racing Headers has been doing this for almost 20 years. They use T304 stainless steel, fully built in the US, completely welded here, everything's put together. They're not in the business of making headers, they're in the business of making horsepower. American Racing Headers come stock, you might not know this, but they come stock on the Cobra Jet Mustang, Copo Camaro, and the Drag Pack Challenger. So if the big three use American Racing Headers for their highest horsepower race cars, then it's gonna be a perfect fit for our Trackhawk. All right, so we got the headers here. We're gonna start with that. You can see the factory manifolds are cast versus our long tubes, which is gonna give it, already so much more airflow. So from the headers back, we're gonna work into the mid pipes, and we're gonna actually go to an H pipe instead of an X pipe from the factory, which is gonna get rid of a lot of the rasp. And one of the nice things about this exhaust is it's supposed to have little to no rasp at all or drone. So when you're driving down the freeway, it's not gonna be just droning out and killing your ride. And move back into the straight through resonators, got the mufflers. If you look at the welds on these, really good quality all across the board. And they retain the factory tips. So they use the ball fitting so you can get a really good adjustment and make sure the tips are perfectly even. And that's it, but it's time to get in the car, and then we can actually hear what this thing sounds like. So day two, pretty much we're wrapping up for the day. We got the headers completely installed. We had that done by lunch. It's definitely tricky on the Trackhawks, a little bit more tricky than the Hellcats, but once you kind of get the feel for it and you have the right combination of swivels, having the right tools makes all the difference. We got the new Brisk spark plugs in. We got the fuse box back in, kind of buttoned up some of the stuff on the engine bay. For tomorrow, we're probably gonna go and put the intake in. The rest of the exhaust will be in tomorrow morning. And then depending on if the pin kit shows up, we'll pin the crank and throw the new ATI 10% dampener in. And then with that, we'll do the thermostat and some other things because we were just waiting for the pin kit to get here. Because if the pin kit's not here, we don't want to drain the coolant and then have to refill it and then go through all that. So we want to make sure all that's here, and then everything will be in the car. So hopefully, if the ECU shows up tomorrow or Friday, this thing will be running.
The next day.
All right, day 3 will be on the build. Day 2, made some good ground, got the headers all the way in, did the spark plugs, got everything pretty much ready. We've hit some parts delays. The parts hit weather delays from UPS, so those look like they're gonna be here tomorrow, all the stuff for the pin kit. So today, I'm gonna get the bumper off, get everything ready to pin the crank, probably get the dampener, the belts, all that stuff off, drain the radiator, do the thermostat, and then tomorrow when the pin kit shows up, we're gonna pin it, put the damper back on, and pretty much slap the rest of this thing back together, and we'll be ready to run. So today's gonna be kind of a slow day. Ramel's gonna knock out all the stickers, and we should be good to go, so let's get to work. So the Hellcat from the factory does not come with a keyed crankshaft, so your crank dampener is essentially just pressed on there with nothing preventing it from just spinning around on the crank. And so we're basically going to take it off, we're going to drill a hole in it, and we're going to add a key, so it's just an extra point to keep it from just spinning around the crankshaft, especially with the extra power. It's one of the best things you can do for longevity of the car. Yeah, it's just gonna keep it safe. And then the new ATI balancer is gonna give us 10% extra overdrive, so it'll spin the blower a little bit faster.
Got it. Let's get to it.
All right, day 4 beyond the build. Yesterday we got the bumper off, got the crank dampener off, got everything ready to go. First things first, we're gonna get the American Racing headers full exhaust system installed, and then we're gonna bring the car down to more of like a workable level so Ramel will be able to knock out stickers while we pin the crank, get all of that reassembled, install the leg maker intake, do a quick oil change, and we should have a base map and this thing running by the end of the day.
All right, what time is it?
Thermostat time, 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock?
Yeah, very precisely, put that in.
Like a glove.
I'd call that 12 o'clock. Thermostat's installed.
Cool. So everyone knows what a thermostat is, but what does this do for the car?
So this is a 180-degree thermostat. It's basically going to open up at 180 degrees and start flowing your coolant a little bit sooner, because I believe the factory one is a 200. Yeah, this one's 203 degrees. So this one's going to open up at 180, where this one opened up at 200.
Gotcha.
So 20 degrees sooner, you're going to have coolant flowing and circulating.
Got it.
All right, so we're wrapping up day 4. We got the exhaust all the way in. We got the crank pin, belt on, thermostat in. I'm gonna keep reassembling the front clip, get the radiator back in, get everything pretty much ready for the bumper to go on. So first thing Monday morning, we'll get the bumper on and put the leg maker intake in, and then we are at the mercy of when the ECU shows up. So if the ECU gets here on Monday, it'll be on the dyno running. If it doesn't, it'll probably be Tuesday. So for Monday, we're gonna dive back in and hopefully finish up the entire car.
Eventually.
All right, guys, it's Monday. We're back to be on the build. On Friday, we got the American Racing headers catback all the way installed, along with we got the new crank dampener from ATI installed and pinned the crank. Got most of the stuff in the front end back together with the exception of the bumper. So today we're gonna do some finalizing stuff, do the oil change, get the bumper back on, and then put in the leg maker intake and pretty much have this car ready to go. So when the ECU shows up tomorrow, all we'll have to do is tune it. All right, so first we have the Trackhawk stock intake. As you can see, it uses a paper filter and a closed box. So we'll pop that out. Just a small little paper guide. It does have air pocket from the bottom that the air comes up through. And you know, just a pretty standard stock intake. But then we have our leg maker intake. Every kit is handmade one at a time from real carbon fiber. No other company fabricates a carbon fiber product in the same manner the leg maker does, which makes these kits truly unique. With over 20 years of experience in the prosthetic industry, allowed them to take the skill sets with the composites in that industry and apply them to an automotive passion. Legmaker's sole focus is the modern Mopar platform. Kits are designed and built by a diehard Mopar enthusiast / owner for the modern Mopar community. The Legmaker intake has been independently tested to show a real 18 to 22 wheel horsepower increase over the stock airbox. Legmaker intakes uses a proprietary process to make sure the carbon fiber on the inside is smooth so the air can flow through smoother. The Legmaker intake goes from a 6-inch opening to a 4.5 using a funnel shape to create more airspeed and less restriction. With the intake, obviously high quality silicone couplers, and then we have the S&B filter here with 8-layer protection, and then we have one better with the pre-filter to go over it and just kind of keep moisture and other contaminants out of the filter. And to cap it off, we have this beautiful laser cut Legmaker rain shield to go on top. But enough talking about it, it's time to get this thing on the car. This in the car. We're gonna flash the base map from Brenton.